or make you laugh, make you cry like Ain't Life Funny. Ugh.
First of all, I've restarted recording, but
Right,
we
man.
are blasting off on the episode 17, coming in hot. This is Matt. What's up?
And this is Aaron once again. You're a resident crazy person, I guess, is what I am now.
You're already just fucking getting the tinfoil condom just wrapped around so you can fuck somebody's mind right now, dude.
Well, it's amazing that I'm even back this week because I told you I was
I
about
know.
to
I
stop
know.
doing the
See, I
podcast, so-
forgot. See, thank God you brought that up. I just assumed we were on, but you did indicate we were over. This was over with. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, man, like I feel like it's run its course. Like I'm just sullying my reputation even more on the streets. Like every person I meet when they find out I do a podcast now, they're gonna be like, "Oh, let me listen." I was like, "Well,
don't. Please
you might
don't.
want to, you might hold off on that one. Don't listen to any of the long ones. Listen
We're
to a
the
short
only podcast that's like, just don't. Please don't.
It's like you don't need to hear any of this.
We're gonna
Like,
put this out, but just don't. This is more for us. Like, don't listen.
right. This is a trial run on what could be, but don't take anything serious here, please.
Everything's alleged, but welcome. This is week 17. 2020 continues to take the fattest of shits on the world.
Oh man, yeah.
Lebanon, they should. First of all, the way I experienced this thing happening, so to get everyone up to speed, there was this huge explosion in Beirut in Lebanon, like gigantic. Yeah. And videos started coming out. I think Trump immediately said, like, he indicated it was an attack. So I think everybody that viewed the video thought for a while that this was some sort of a bombing, like maybe ISIS had stepped their game up and gotten some gigantic bomb or some shit. Yeah. But that actually was not the case. But when I saw the video, I was like, holy fuck, is this a nuclear bomb? Because it looks like it is a mushroom cloud when you watch.
Well, what they said was that factory had a bunch of chemicals in it that is used to make explosives.
Yeah, well, here's what exactly happened. So, huge explosion. We'll insert video here. That was crazy. That video was crazy.
I don't mean to laugh at that, anybody. Like, Matt is just
no, that was just the way we were gonna edit
it. Yeah,
but
Matt is
no,
a fool,
like
yo.
That looks like a fucking nuclear bomb went off. But what actually that was apparently they, in some building in that port area, which is where that explosion happened, there was a building that had the report is 2,750 metric tons of a chemical called ammonium nitrate that I don't know what its use is other than making bombs, but I'll tell you, it's good at exploding shit because somehow the report I read was that in 2015, some agency told this business that had all these chemicals, you got to move these. Like, this is insane that you have this much in one spot. Yeah. You got to move these. Well, that didn't happen. And then apparently yesterday, I think is when this happened, somehow fire hit this, and that's what caused this. I mean, when you watch the video, what's crazy about now is there's 15 million angles on this explosion. You can see it from miles away. You can see there's a video of a woman who is doing this beautiful like wedding video, recording all this stuff for a wedding, and in the middle of her like doing this like video, this shit happens. So it's crazy to see, but Trump thought it was an attack. But what's your tinfoil hat?
Was this say, just if you're ready for a conspiracy time, this early on in the show.
Let me hit the button.
Conspiracy time.
This early on in the show, we can get to it, but
No, dude, I mean,
Yeah.
every topic we bring up, Aaron will make into a conspiracy. So this was an easy one. I lobbed one to you, bro.
I mean,
Knocked
it has
this out
all
of
of
the
the
park.
does have all the makings of a very strong conspiracy here, you know, where we got some bombs, we got the Middle East, we got
Yep.
government coming out saying something really early on, retracting statements, just, you know, back to their old tricks. But what I will say first off is it's really sad that a bunch of people
Yeah.
got hurt from
Serious.
this,
I
you know what I'm
mean,
saying?
dude, of
Like,
course, man.
like really terrible. But what I will jump into this is I interestingly just watched a documentary called The China Hustle. And what it is that after the 2008 financial collapse, even before it was happening, a bunch of like stock market people and the governments found a new loophole where what you do is, and actually I saw Vice do a thing on this too, but what you do is that in China, there is no oversight. So like when you have like the SEC and stuff like the, you know, that guards the trades and they watch all of the big businesses and stuff, they, you know, they have like fail safes in America so that, you know, they're not selling something illegally or committing fraud. In China, that does not exist whatsoever.
Yeah.
So there's no fail safes. What it is that in China, their law is that they can lie to foreigners about what their profits are. And as long as they don't do it to their fellow Chinese people, they don't get in trouble at all. So the Americans knew this, and what they did was they went to like small Chinese-based companies, and they were like, "Hey, you have like a coal mine, right? Tell everybody, like, don't you want to be rich? Don't you want to have everything you ever dreamed of?" They're like, "Oh yeah. So like, I'm gonna make you $100 million. The way I'm gonna make it for you is tell everybody you already are making $100 million, and then I'm gonna take this company, sell it on the American stock trade, and then all the Americans will think it's $1 million company. They'll buy it at that share price. We get all the money, but really on the back end, the company isn't even producing like $50,000. And the way they were doing it was because it's this thing where like if there was already an existing American company, like let's say like you had an American coal mine, like Davidson Son coal mine, right? Davidson Son coal mine could then go and find an old rundown Chinese one and say, oh, we're going to do a reverse merger. So we're going to form with this Chinese company and we're going to make a stronger company. And that company's going to work for $100 million because in China, we got all this. And in America, we got this. So like the way that the Chinese company got on the stock trade was through the American company, even though the American company's not making money and the Chinese company's not making money. So apparently they robbed mad people, dog. Like a whole bunch of people got caught up in this because this guy was doing this research where he was like, shorting all the companies because he was saying these people were lying, and he went to China and seeing the factories couldn't make all this and all that. So I go into all this to
I was gonna say what?
yeah,
See, that's the type of I'm gonna kick your ass.
but I go into all this because the same way that they were doing that in China, it makes me wonder, were they doing something like that in Lebanon, where you're saying with these chemicals where like they're holding all these chemicals here, they're legally setting them up, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that was for some reason in order to make some type of money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where my conspiracy lies. Like I know that maybe that's not a too deep one today, but apparently what it is once again, it's a conspiracy, but it's not, is that companies put profits before the welfare of humans. And this is what has happened. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a Chinese company illegally selling stocks and doing some bullshit, or it's a company in Beirut not shipping any chemicals, not doing the safety shit. I mean, this is basically the fucking Gulf Coast pipeline all over again, where it's like they blew up the entire Gulf of Mexico, you know what I'm saying, off some bullshit, not following regulations and not keeping up the maintenance on that shit, and then the whole fucking ocean get polluted. So
I
you know what I
mean,
mean? Like
if I were to actually think like you, which I mean I do think of conspiracies, but if I like looking at, especially, I didn't really know exactly where Lebanon was geographically, but I mean they're right next to Syria, they're right next to fucking Jordan, Iraq. I mean the Gaza Strip's right there, so there's a lot
yes,
of people
everywhere.
doing a lot of extreme shit over there. And I'm sure we're in that too, obviously, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
you got 2,000 and some tons of an explosive chemical like that, where again, like look it up, but I don't really know what ammonium nitrate is supposed to be used for other than that, like, or something of that
Right.
nature. So, you know, you got that much shit. I'm sure you're trying to just, you know, off that to somebody who wants to blow shit up. And I mean, they're in a good area to do that. Maybe they just never sold it or somebody
Right. Well,
involved
think
in
about
some scheme
this.
kind of got off or something and forgot about it.
I mean, you act like there's not a black arms market. You know
No,
what I'm
of
saying?
course.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I
nothing
mean?
got, I
Like,
mean, I'm
guns
going to
get
look it
sold
up right
illegally.
now. Go into whatever insanity you're going to say. And I just want to
Oh.
see what this shit's supposed to be used for.
Well, I mean, if we want to jump into the full net of it all, I mean, the thing about it to me is like, if you look at a Mexican cartel, right? You think that the Mexican cartel sells drugs and kills people and does all that stuff without some type of oversight from foreign governments? You know what I'm saying? Because like that's all in Mexico, right? But then there's countries beside it. So like the Mexican mafia is strong arming Guatemala and stuff to let them get the drugs through? Yes. And then America's letting them get through the border in some type of way? Yes. I mean, they can sit there and lie about that war on drug shit all they want, but at the end of the day, like they're not stopping all the drugs and they're making money off that shit because drugs are getting sold in American dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of
Plus,
the day,
it's
like a dollar
probably
is
them
dead.
in some way getting it produced so they can put it into the market anyway. Because it's not like,
Right.
I mean, looking it up, this is what ammonium nitrate's used for: to make fertilizers, explosives, and they say it's used as a nutrient in producing antibiotics. So basically,
That's the same
it
thing that
grows like proteins and
the
shit.
Kansas City bomber used ammonium nitrate in the
Yeah.
fertilizer to
And here's
heat
what's
it. That's the
crazy.
same thing.
So as big, remember that I was young when that happened, but I remember the devastation that did to one building,
Yeah.
right? To put this into
Mhm.
perspective, what was used to do Oklahoma City was 1 ton of this. So
Right.
instead of 1 ton, what happened in Lebanon was 2,750 some tons, which is, I mean, that's crazy, dude. Just to be like
Yeah.
walking down the street and you're just, I mean, some people I'm sure just fucking got completely fucked up just from the shock wave. Shit
Right.
flying,
Yeah. I mean, it's like you ever seen a steam pipe
crazy.
burst in the city and shit, stuff like that. Like, I mean, it's just crazy to think, like we build our lives off of infrastructure and trust a lot of these, companies to be doing the right thing and all that, man. But you know how it is, bro. You've worked in places where it's like right now I work for a company. It's like, bro, this van needs some brakes on it and shit,
Yeah,
dog.
oh
Like the
yeah.
lights ain't working. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm driving this on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like for commercial purposes, it's not up to par, but you just do what you do and you go get your check. Like I feel like that's how most companies be operating. It's like, yeah, we need to fix that, but we just gonna, put some tape on it until tomorrow. And next thing you know, my thing is, how does that all blow up though? Like, I mean, if you want to
I
jump into the
don't get
conspiracy with
that.
that,
Like, I haven't really gone into like
Right.
exactly how fire got to it, but I mean, it's a port city, and it looked like it actually happened like in a port. So,
Yeah.
there's fucking forklifts, but I mean, we could go deep as fuck because again, this isn't an area where, I mean, it could have been us,
Right.
it could have been their government, it could have been anybody, God knows, it could have been a fucked up thing, and they're
Now,
just painting it as, hey, don't, nothing's going on here. Like that wasn't
right.
anything crazy.
Well, check this out, though. The thing that I find interesting about it is how Trump wanted to jump so quickly to it being an attack.
Yeah, I
Now, we
know.
know he's an idiot, you know what I'm saying? But if you realize, that's like the third or fourth time he's tried to incite some
But
shit in the
what's
Middle
fucked up
East.
is he
You
didn't
know what I'm
even
saying?
indicate. He didn't even like leave it like, oh, that appear like from my perspective, this appears to be an attack. I think he
Right.
said some general told me that was an attack.
It looks like a terrible attack.
On Lebanon, you called this an attack. Are you confident that this was an attack and not an accident?
Well, it would seem like it based on the explosion. I've met with some of our great generals, and they just seemed to feel that it was. This was not some kind of a manufacturing
Today, Junior?
explosion type of event. This was seems to be, according to them, they would know better than I would, but they seem to think it was a attack. It was a bomb of some kind.
Like he basically
Whoa.
made up a bullshit statement and implicated
Right.
some general.
Ghost can general. Yeah.
Like, the fuck?
Well, here's the thing, though. We already know he's an idiot, but it's like, fam, you're the president, dog.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
if that
shut
is
the
going
fuck
on,
up.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you can't be talking like that, dog. Like, he literally is like, oh, it's an attack, man. We about to go over there and set it on somebody if we need to. It's like, you don't even have any information on this. This just happened. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, it's like, chill out, bro. You know what I mean? And even if it was some clandestine, crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, then that's all the more reason for you not to be talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's supposed to be a secret, right? So it's like, why are you out here telling everybody?
Well,
But,
that's the thing.
yeah.
It's like even if it was like an attack and he knows it, it doesn't really do
Right.
any good for us to know it was an attack. Like it's just again, this is like basic. This is just the fucked up nature of the world. It's like that happened there. So to tell us
Right.
that it's an attack is just getting us all riled up too, and he doesn't even know that. But like he's such a dumb fuck. He doesn't realize like as a president, like that can actually affect like your intelligence. If
Right.
it was an attack, maybe you don't want the people that did it to know that you know it was an attack.
Right.
You know, like there's all this like 5D and like 4D chess happening that he
Right.
can't.
That's what
He's a genius at branding himself. He knows what his brand is, who the people who consume his product is, and he knows what he needs to do to keep himself in their good graces. But he is not a smart person. He is not politically. I don't even
Bro,
think
I saw
it's
this.
basically like giving an illiterate person a like the sheriff of a like LA. It's like, okay, you know, go for it. You're smart.
Let me
You can
find this
talk there.
guy. Let me find this guy that I was to YouTube the other day. Hold on real quick. Because, like, it's this guy. He has, like, a political podcast. His name is something Pac-Man. I just want to give him a shout-out because he's funny as fuck, but I can't find this shit. Hold on a second. But it's like he was saying that he saw video evidence supposedly that Trump does amphetamines. So, like,
I mean, what's an
they're saying there's
amphetamine though?
like that he takes mad Sudafed from overseas, and supposedly it has like the upper in it. You know what I'm saying? So he does that, and then they're saying there's two Trumps. So it's like when he's on it and when he's not, and when he's not, that's when he's like kind of slow and more lethargic Trump, and then when he like is on it, that's when he's like the shit talking. You know what I mean? Being like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, when he like don't even let him say a word. You know what I mean? Like he's that one. And then they were saying his pupils are like hella big while he's getting like a bunch of flash photography happening to him, and that shouldn't be going on. So he's just fucking like high out his mind. And
I
who was
mean,
it? They said the guy that won The Apprentice was claiming that when he worked for him, all he did was Sudafeds and a whole bunch of shit like that. And then when they would go party, he would just do straight
Sudafed.
coke and meth, dog. That's what they said. That Trump a meth head, supposedly. So I mean, you want to talk about some conspiracy? There's some hot shit for you, but that dude is shrouded in that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it doesn't matter. You can say
Are
anything
you
about
like
that guy.
if you told me he was doing blasts of coke, like
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
believe it.
Like,
Yeah, he's from the 80s.
yeah,
Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Yeah, of course he does. Like, did you not see Wolf of Wall Street? Like, come on now. Like, that's what they was all doing.
the guy is probably, you know, they stopped making Quaaludes like a decade ago. That guy probably somehow found the scientists who can make those. He's the president. He just has like a little Quaalude factory in his fucking in the White House.
The way they found out about it was funny because it was like a clip of from like 2013 where he just has like his back drawer open on his desk and he's sitting there in front taking a picture like smiling. In the back it's just like 4 boxes of Sudafed just stacked up. You know what I'm saying? It's like some fucking don't fuck with cat shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious. I mean,
I was like,
again,
man,
not
this is
surprised. You know, when can somebody just stuff some mushrooms down his throat or something? Can we get that to happen? Can we
man.
get like
Honestly,
a
bro,
hippie president? I want a president that's on psychedelics every day.
I want to get really far out there and just tell the truth. Like, I don't think Trump is even a person, dog. Like, I'm getting to the point now. Like, I don't think that's like. I think he's Jabba the Hutt or some shit. Like, he's just like a amorphous entity at this point, man. Because every time I see him, he doesn't even look like any person I've ever met, like at all.
I just think
Like,
he's somebody that's so willing to be successful, and no matter what it takes, and whatever the success he wants is, like he will do the most depraved shit. He will say anything he has to. He knows how to sort of twist media to how he wants it. Because I mean, if you, as far as publicity goes, there's no one better at it. Like if he wants somebody to hear something or that he's thinking or he says, I know he's the president, but even if he wasn't, the shit would still be the same thing. He's the same level
man.
of shit. You know what I mean?
He's making Twitter so much money, dog.
Oh,
That's really what they don't want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like Twitter might be hating on him and shit, but at the end of the day, like I'm sure their stock is up partly because people just go there to see what he's about to say. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Like, I mean, to me, I feel like that's a really tough spot to be in. It's kind of like being like a wrestler or something. You ever been like if you're like the top wrestler, like if you're like Goldberg or whatever, everybody's always coming for you. So you're like tied up in all these other storylines, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you're fighting the NWO, but then at the same time, like Sting is like hunting you, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where Trump is caught up now, where it's just like he can't back down off anything he said. Like everything he said has been crazy. People like him for it and then people hate him for it. So it's just like you can't make the people that hate you start liking you, and the people that like you, if you do, are gonna hate you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, can't win, dog. The motherfucker fucked himself over, man. It is what it is. I just find it funny that he is just so quick to just say anything, though, man. Like this, is especially to me, it's like an explosion happened somewhere in the world. Did you see any other president of any other country come out and say anything like this? No, right?
I mean, take a breath. It's like everyone else just be like, God damn, and just you can't do anything about it. You know,
like if you do need to say something, say it's a tragedy what happened. We need more information to find out what's going on here. We're gonna send aid or
he doesn't have
investigators.
to say shit about it. He needs to say,
he doesn't have to say nothing.
For the loss of life, here's an expert in intelligence, like some national security guy, to be like, we're examining the information right now, but we don't know what's going on. That's what should have happened. But he got up, fucking, he's Mr.
You know what he's
shoot
like?
from the hip.
It's like if you were a basketball coach and you're like drawing up a play in the huddle and you just look over the other team and be like, hey, we running the ISO play over here, just so y'all know on the next one. And then he just goes back and like, all right, guys, go get it. And everybody looks at him like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? What are you talking
He's like
about?
Mac and It's Always Sunny when he's trying to like play each side. And he's like, like, you can't tell us that you're playing sides, you motherfucker.
Hold on. Wait a second. So, but I told you so that I could leverage. Like, yeah, you don't have any more leverage. So,
it's gone, you dumb fuck.
But he does that with everything, dude.
I can't. There was this thing that came out on HBO that's so. I mean, I hope they put it in some sort of national archive because it was on HBO. It was called like Axios something.
Oh yeah. I saw that on YouTube.
Some British guy went and was talking to Trump about. I mean, this was like a week ago.
Yeah, it was.
And he has all these questions about COVID and our response and Trump's response and all these questions. And Trump's in there. He comes in looking all fucking pissy, like he always does, trying to look all tough. And he has these papers in his hand. You're like, what are in those papers? And it's the most bullshit, like Microsoft Office bar graphs. And he's like, look, we're number one here. And the guy's like, he hands him the list. And the guy's like, no, like, this isn't, what is this? What is this a graph of and stuff? Dude, it is so funny. But it's a perfect example of that's the president. Other presidents. First of all, why would you agree to go into a one-on-one interview from a guy associated with
even crazier about it though?
And try to
they were trying to get us back on the low. Like if you really was watching, they were giving him layups, dog. They literally.
I mean, the guy wasn't even
The guy didn't press him at all, bro.
The reason the guy could have pressed him so much harder. The guy's reaction is basically
dumbfounded.
There are those that say you can test too much. You do know that.
Who says that?
Oh, just read the manuals, read the books.
Manuals?
Read the books.
Manuals?
Read the books.
What book?
You might as well be talking to a wall.
Right.
It's like this has a motion sensor on it or something.
I've never seen a person like him, dude. Like when I was watching that dude, I was literally like, no, anybody else would be like squirming right now. Like they would be like, let me try to explain. Like he literally is just trying to be steadfast with revisionist history, where it's like, you didn't say that. It's like, I did say it. It's like, No,
No.
that's what you said after you said what you said when you said the wrong thing first,
See,
and you're still saying it. Like, and it's like nah.
he's a relic from the 80s though, because he is an old dude. So like
Yeah.
his success and his brand came up in the 80s. So it's all coked up, like gold. Everything's big. Everything has his name on it. Everything's high class. But he's, that world didn't have the internet and people with phones and millions of people recording the shit you say and writing it down and knowing you didn't say it. So like in the 80s, he could be like, yeah, I said that, or I didn't say that. And somebody'd be like, wait, I think you said that, but I can't remember. So maybe, and just bought it. But now it's like he can't do that, but he doesn't want to, I guess, acknowledge that or put any work into thinking about.
I mean, honestly, man, like I wish that I could kind of live like that, where like, I remember, for example, I got, I've taken L's as a kid, you know what I mean? Got beat up or whatever and all that. So it's just like, if you could just go back in your past and be like, nah, I kicked that guy's ass. You guys don't remember that? Like, yeah, I beat that. Like, I didn't lose. He didn't call me that.
Be a pathological lie.
Right. I did not cry when that girl told me that. You are lying. It's like, no, when I gave her the necklace, I remember strictly that, damn, that's hitting the old school line right there. You ever did that? Gave a girl a necklace and got super played? Oh man.
Like are we talking like a new
like in middle school?
Like
in middle school. Middle school gave a girl like a little necklace, thought she was my girlfriend, got motherfucker heart broke. Got that shit handed right back to your man's dog. Hell yeah, bro.
I was so bad in middle school. I was probably trying to give a chick a Slim Jim or some fat chick.
Man, you know what? What were these women thinking, man? Like, I think looking back on it now as a young kid, I had no clue what to do with any girl. Like, I remember in 7th grade, I had a girlfriend, dude. And like, I remember like I had started this rumor up that
on the phone.
I would just give her a hug when I would leave out of school. But this girl actually was like fast, you know what I'm saying? So like this one dude that I went to school with dated her sister and was like, yo, you can go over there after school and like, they mama not home, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And she had even kind of hinted to that because there was a rumor that I told girls that I would go down on them at school, right? But I never actually had been with any chick.
That's a great rumor though for you.
Yeah, awesome. But Shorty tried to call my bluff, and I was like, I said, I'm in 7th grade. I don't know nothing about. I don't know what a clitoris is. I don't know what a labia is. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Like, I have no idea. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to live off. I
don't even think I knew what a clitoris was at 7th grade.
That's what I'm saying.
I might not even know where to just blast off. I would.
I blame that girl. I blame that fast ass girl and her absentee mama, cause what was she trying to make me do, man? I was just a young child. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I just feel like girls are smarter than us at that age.
Did you saddle up and ride, or what? Did you just like run out?
No, she legit just broke up with me because it was like you're all talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it was just
dude, that's a good lesson to learn though, because next time somebody starts a rumor that you eat good pussy, then see, that happened actually to my buddy Jordan one time. One time we had a party in college, and
you're using your friend's name, by the way, telling all his business.
It's all good. So he will share. This is a good story.
Okay.
So like we were hanging out. We had like, I think we lived in an apartment with like 2 other guys. It was like 4-bedroom apartment or whatever. So we had this massive party. All these townies from this area came from where they were from. We had a bunch of college friends, and this random chick from like an apartment, some other apartment, came over to like hang out because we were all like new. We'd all just moved in. It was one of those things. And our roommate like walked up. Jordan was talking to this. From what I remember, the chick was like hot as hell, for whatever that was in Ohio in like 2003 or 2002, whatever, that standard was.
I got you.
So our friend walks over and is like, they call this guy horse. And he just like winks. And like the chick, obviously took that to what he meant, which is that Jordan's hung like a fucking porn star. Which
Yeah.
he's a Polish guy. I'm sure he's got I haven't seen the piece, but he's got plenty of women. I'm sure he's rocking a fucking some sausage, whatever.
Once again,
But
and this
he
is some
got
Trump
pissed.
revisionist history.
He got pissed, and I was like, because the chick got interested. Like the chick was like not very, they were having a conversation. But as soon as she heard horse, she's like, shit got a little more like touchy feely and stuff. And we were out smoking a joint on like the patio, and he was like, "Fucking this motherfucker said this shit." I was like, "Why are you pissed, dude? It seemed like it worked." He's like, "Well, what? This bitch is expecting fucking like some sort of baby arm shit." I was like, "Hey, dude." Some of these rumors you start like sometimes like somebody tells. I mean,
It's
yours. I feel like you
like-
could have maybe like just like went for it. I mean, you're in seventh grade. It's questionable, but that's a situation. But if somebody says you have a horse cock and then you pull out just a normal cock, I mean, you don't want to see that kind
That's
of.
when you just be like, did he say horse, baby? I think he meant pony. He meant pony, not horse. Yeah, like. But yeah, I mean, I feel you. That's a hard one to live up to. You know what I mean?
I mean, but again, that's another one where you just got to just pray that what her standard for like a large penis is, what fits into what you got. Me, a fat cocked individual like myself, I'm not worrying about that. I'm just going out, but everyone can't be like me, so.
Once again, Trump revisionist history in which, the story is told as how the teller wants to tell it.
I write a biography in like 5 years, and it's like, I came out of the womb with a 75-inch penis. Like, the doctors said they've never seen anything like this.
It'd be like, it's like, after getting my third reduction surgery, after getting my cock slammed in a third door this week, I had to reevaluate my life.
After my cock got caught into my bike chain again, for the 6th time, I had to get it reduced a little bit. I regretted missing
Honestly,
that much
dude,
third grade, but
I feel bad for women that have to get breast reductions simply because it looks like that shit is hella involved, dude. Like the technology behind like breast augmentation nowadays, man, it's kind of like terrifying and at the same time amazing because it's actually progressed. If you remember like the old school,
dude, it used to be
circular.
People were like coming out with like craters in their titties because the shit like solidified in their body and shit.
Just nasty, but now it's like it looks almost real, and it's crazy because like a woman that has to get her breast reduction, dude, it's like they just be looking kind of hype. But some chicks, man, I understand it, man. I done seen some women with some shit looking like, yo, how do you like? You can't do nothing, yo. Like if you get chased by a lion, you gonna get ate up real quick, shorty. You can't even move.
You might survive though, because it might just rip off a gigantic titty and just be okay. And you can survive. You can survive that. You can miss a titty and just like walk away.
Oh God!
Like,
but
yeah, I mean,
this is
it's what it's all about, and I think that's just biological science. You rip a titty off, I feel like a woman could survive that. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but with the right sort of
the topics that we land on here sometimes just make me wonder what's really happening, and once again, why this will be the last episode of Ain't Life Funny.
But a one-tittied stripper. Now, to pivot to something else, I wanted to talk about.
I would be very amazed by the one-titty stripper because I would tip her. I would tip the one-titty stripper because I have love for the effort that it takes to go up there like that. You know what I mean? I got love for that. I can appreciate that.
What are you going to like a Make-A-Wish strip club? Jesus Christ! Like,
I'm just saying, man, dude.
No.
Come on, man. Like, imagine if you were like the littlest dick male stripper, and it's like I feel like women would.
Yeah, but that's like something to see. Like, somebody with like a tiny penis like that, like that's something to see. A woman with one titty. So
you'd rather see that than a one-titted woman? What type of what? I
mean,
do you like women?
I don't want to see one like. Okay, is there a woman that was just born like structurally with one gigantic tit, like a
Nah, she got
tit.
a bit off in the lion, attacking her large, satisfying
I mean,
breasts, satisfied the
was like
lion, and then she
performing
became
with
a stripper.
maybe it was like if it was like a Joe Exotic lion show type thing, and then she comes out and she's like,
How
I used
about
to work
this?
with Bubbles, but he ripped my titty
How
off.
about
So
this?
check this
How about
out.
just big titty, little titty? So like she got a big titty and she
Biggie
got a little
Smalls
titty, right?
titty? I
Yeah. So
definitely
it's
would
like
check
it's
that out.
what I'm
I'm into
saying.
freak
Just be like,
shows.
yo,
I
this
don't
is
want
amazing.
I don't want like a tragic freak show. You know what I mean? Like somebody that's
I
just got like a
mean,
fucked up titty that just got ripped up by a lion. You
you ever
know,
seen anybody with like a glass eye before though? And it's kind of like a cool little trick where they can just like pop their eye out and scare you real quick.
I
That's
knew a
cool.
guy with a glass
Yeah.
eye, but I don't believe he ever just was like, check this out, guys, and like popped it up. That's some fucked up shit. Like, don't do that. You got a glass
I mean,
eye,
you
don't
know,
fucking do that shit.
there's beauty in the grotesque, is all I'm saying,
Nah,
man.
man.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. Should a person who has gone through something terrible, like having their gigantic, massive titty ripped off by a lion, be able to do whatever they want? Yes.
Exactly.
But maybe do
Exactly.
something where a woman who, you know, that's not in an industry dependent on pulling a tit
Man, how
out.
dare
Like,
you?
I
How
mean,
dare you limit one titty Brenda to
I
anything
mean,
but the greatness? Whatever she wants to
Brenda, if
be,
you're
she can
out there
do.
with that big ass, massive, fucked up Cyclops titty, just, you know, be a bartender at the strip club. And then not only are you there, so people are kind of like cool with it, but you have an interesting story to tell all the alcoholics. They're like, damn, how you get one
Man, think
titty?
about this, man. You thinking about it all wrong. From a male perspective, sexually, now you only gotta suck one tit, bro. That's easy work.
I mean, I
See what
feel
I'm
like
saying?
honestly, and I apologize to the women in my past, but like just in terms of titty sucking and like how that generates into something extra afterwards, like I'll suck a titty for a little bit, but I'm not like ravenously sucking tits at this point in my life, or even most of my life.
Oh
Maybe at
man,
junior
your
high,
poor wife.
I was giving
Your
like
poor wife.
I mean, she's begging for something else. Like no woman just is
Man,
like, here's what I want. Suck my tits for an hour and a half
you
so I
don't.
can just
Have
fucking
you ever?
blast
You
it
don't
off.
know. You don't know,
I
man.
mean,
What if
I've
that's
had women
exactly
who
what it
had
takes?
like them titty suck, but I'm just saying, that's not the main event. You're sucking a titty and then going down
I
south, or you're
mean,
sucking a titty
man,
and then just
to
getting into
me,
it.
to me, this
Titty suck
sounds
is
like
the key,
Matt.
bro. The
To
titty
me, this
suck is
sounds,
like the
ladies,
flourish.
ladies, if you into foreplay, Matt is not the man for
I'm a
you.
married
Matt
man,
is
bro. I'm married. There ain't
Matt is
foreplay. What
all
the fuck is that? I'm
yeah.
married, bro.
Listen to this. Yeah, listen to this guy, man. Like I feel
I'm
bad for your
not.
poor wife,
I'm not.
Kendra.
I'm in for foreplay. I love eating pussy. I'm on record as I love saying I love eating other things. We'll leave it at that. But in terms of being married, when you're married, bro, it's all about we got to get these sessions in. We got shit to do. I gotta get
We gotta
sales in my
get-
job. Let's plow real quick, and you know, every once in a while we'll have a nice little long bang sesh like old days.
Man, look, man.
Oh,
Look, man. I'm gonna
hey.
once again I'm gonna just remind you that every word you're saying is being recorded, okay?
And also, I would just like to say this is coming from a man who used to be fat. So, as a fat person, do you know how much pussy I had to eat even to get a little touch of pussy? I had to eat all the.
Now let me also say this once again, ladies and gentlemen. One of our listeners
Aaron,
is
why
Matt's
is your
mother.
video like you're in some sort of a hostage video? Are you trying to hide your identity now, dude?
I honestly can't stop laughing at this because Matt is just insane. But
I'm helping
like
you, dude.
I mean, I can dig what you're saying, you know, getting to it. But let me just give you some marital advice. Maybe you should just set a day out the
Here we
week,
go.
you know. Like for me personally, I like to pick Friday, and it's also
Okay.
tomorrow, so something for you to think about. Yes, you call it Freaky Friday, and on Freaky Friday, you and your wife, oh, it's some extra. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh,
Dress up.
it's like that. And on Thursday, it's like that. On Friday, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Where you just, you know, you bring your A game on Friday, though. That's all I would suggest to you.
Okay. I
And
mean,
see
you
if
know,
it
I
don't
feel like
change your
I'm
life.
doing that. I feel like I am doing that. Just like it's not, you know, I'm not
Well, think
living in
about
like a
this.
Sleepy Brown video, like wearing a Versace, jacket and shit, dancing on a
you
Cadillac.
ever like you ever like play basketball or like had a good baseball game or something where just like that day you was just on, you know what I'm saying? They were just like, damn, yo, like I'm usually good, but like today, like everything happening for me, you know what I'm saying? I can't miss. You know what I mean? Like you need one of them days because like usually when you play, you think you be doing good, you know what I'm saying? And you feel like you did good, but then those days like you really did good in the results show. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I'm saying, man. Friday, go for the results game where like, Saturday she just wake up bow-legged, you know what I'm saying? And you just be like, yeah. You know what I mean? She just
So
wake up, your breakfast already
hold
there. You
on,
know what
I
I mean?
gotta
Like, oh
make
yeah,
a
I know.
list. I gotta make a list.
I mean, you know what the moves. I
Buy
mean,
a Rhino XL for tomorrow for Super
now
Day.
I'm just giving you, yeah, man. I'm just giving you some advice. Is
I
all
would
I'm
also
saying,
just
man.
like to
Nah,
say,
man.
just on record, because I am being recorded, that I do love my wife very much, and I give her great sex. So I'm just throwing that out there too. I'm not some lazy lover. I'm just saying that when
I'm not saying that you are.
when you meet a woman and you're like, when I first started dating my wife, I mean, pussy eating for days. I'm holding doors.
I'm saying.
I'm hiding farts. I'm
So why
doing
don't you just bring it back?
everything
Why don't
I
you just give her
can.
some day one? That's what I'm saying, bro. Give her
Dude,
some day one. That's
because
what I'm
now
trying to give
see,
you
here's the thing,
for that
guys.
advice.
We're gonna move on from the sex. Aaron obviously is he's an experienced expert of
I'm like the
love.
love guru, dog.
Yeah.
I'm like the love guru.
It's sexual, baby.
There's a segment we're gonna keep doing where Aaron gives me sexual advice. Even though I'm a certified
God.
dick out expert myself. But anyway, here's my advice to anybody in a long-term relationship. The longer you can keep the fart barrier up, the more romantic your relationship will stay. Because once you start farting in front of each other, there's a significant change in some of the professionality of a relationship. I like
Oh, I
it.
just day one.
I like to
Day
blast
one,
the
I just
fart.
rip ass,
I
bro.
mean,
Yeah.
dude, but mine are just insane, but
I mean, mine don't
just
stink
just
like
some
that.
advice
You
for
know what I'm
those out
saying?
there that aren't disgusting lovers like Aaron who's just ripping farts and eating pussy all
Day
day.
one, it's like, hey, nice to meet you, and then
Ooh,
I just, let one loose, and it's like, yeah, that's how
blast.
I get down. Yeah. As soon as she gets in
Badass.
the car, I lock all the windows, roll them up, and just let them loose. Let her have it one good time.
Why are you locking the doors? Just give me a second.
Right. It's like, girl, it's like I'm gonna be with you forever.
I can't taste anything anymore. You take her out to dinner. She's like, yeah, this is great, but I can't taste anything. I gotta go home.
It just smells like garlic and onions. Yeah, but most definitely, and I can dig the fart barrier rule there. That's a good little
I
piece
mean,
of
it's just good
advice. How
advice.
long do you think it was before you broke the barrier there? A month, a year?
I feel like, we were dating when you still lived out here. And I feel like at some point while we were still living on Friar Street, we started blasting. But I mean, definitely once we moved down towards the beach, relaxed beach lifestyle, relaxed fart
So I
attitude, I
feel
guess.
like what's happened now is that you just regret that you did break it so early because maybe your wife has really stinky farts and you can't
It's
hang.
not even that,
And
but it's just like, you picture when I was a kid, Pamela Anderson was in the centerfolds, maybe a Jenny McCarthy centerfold, maybe a
that's how
random,
old this motherfucker
maybe
is.
a random Juvenile album cover with like some fat asses on it, but I never pictured a woman just ripping a fart. That was always like me and my boys ripping some ass. It stinks. We all laugh about it. But if you're sitting there snuggling, trying to suck a titty, whatever Aaron wants to do, fucking put some rose petals down, whatever that is, and they just like, crack a little fart, and that's one thing. But then when it stinks, then it's like, okay, well, my illusion's done.
Well,
My illusion of a woman just being this
mean-
glowing angel. My sister and mother never ripped ass in front of me openly like that. We were
Mine
cultured,
did.
bro.
Nah, mine definitely did. But I mean, imagine if a woman's fart smelled like really good. We would be helpless, bro. God had to
Here's the
give him
thing,
something
like for
wrong.
me, this
You know
is
what I'm
the thing.
saying?
This is a taste of whoever this is a subjective thing, dude. Because there's some guy who will come in his pants if some chick walks up,
Oh God.
puts his nose in her ass and just fucking rips apart. There's
Oh,
some freak
God.
on the internet. I bet if we type in fart porn right now, you're gonna watch
Yeah, I mean, it
hours of
it
videos of guys
exists.
just farting or some chick farting, whatever
Oh yeah,
it
it
is.
exists for sure. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it's not even like you don't have to question that. I mean, anything you can think of that, like that is on there. But I mean, for sure. I mean, it's like we said, man, for one man's trash, another man's treasure. You know what I mean? Like I'm not into that personally, but if you are, like, it's funny you say that because I was thinking about the people that do the furry thing the other day, just because I saw a video where supposedly, I guess, like some famous guy's daughter is into that, and he goes to him with her. I forgot who they said it was. It was somebody big, like fucking Kevin Smith or somebody. Like, I don't remember, man. I had to look it up. You know what I'm saying? But they were saying that she was into that, and I'm just like, that is one of the most funniest sexual fetishes to me, because you still have your clothes on, dude, and then it's like, are you into being with Chuck E. Cheese doll or the person inside of it, like, or because you don't know who's inside of it, like, what is the thing there? Like, it's so many layers.
Whole thing, like where it's just like, oh, it's just like a.
You don't know, yeah, but they just rub on each other. They don't even actually do anything, right? They don't take the suits off. Right?
Yeah, but maybe they have like a cock hole or like a pussy or asshole where it just like
God.
I mean, dude.
I didn't want to think that deep into it.
Dude, that took me 1 second. I've never put any thought into it, but
oh man, I didn't want to go there.
How do you fuck in a furry suit? Cut a hole where the dick goes. I don't know.
I just didn't want to go there, but I mean, yeah, one little piece of Velcro. You're right.
There's some like Hollywood
it's
costume designer that's making money where some pervert's like, I'll pay you $8,000 for a fully replicated Predator outfit, but with a dick hole. I want to fuck as the Predator, dude.
Imagine a Comic-Con orgy, bro. I'm sure that goes on where it's just like
that has to happen.
It has to exist. You know what I mean? Like those people just go somewhere and it's like, Goku is banging fucking, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
There's like 8 fat Harley Quinns just getting drilled by fucking some weird nerdy Joker guy in the corner.
Bro.
I've been to Comic-Cons out here, dude. I mean, definitely there's a lot of sexual energy when you go to a Comic-Con, because not only are there like normal people that go there and dress up, but there's also like
models.
Instagram models. Yeah, these people that do like what's it called? Kendra writes about it all the time. Cosplay. So they do it as like a model.
You didn't stay for the after party when you went to Comic-Con?
I mean, dude,
get your dick sucked by
there was plenty of people. Plenty of party promoters trying to throw out some
see
shits, but
man, you and your wife might have got into some Eyes Wide Shut, except it would have been y'all was dressed up like anime characters would have been looking like
Hey, dude. You ain't got to tell me. I would love that, but
that's honestly like a funny LA movie idea right there, where just some guy goes to like Comic-Con and just it's wild as hell. I mean, honestly, that's an easy sell of a movie, because if you sold that to Comic-Con, they would be so down.
Oh yeah.
Like if you had a movie for them to show people at Comic-Con, everybody just goes to movie night at Comic-Con, bro. Come on, man.
Easy I mean, this money. Is a really nerdy callback, but there was this movie that got made a long time ago called Comic Book the Movie, where basically every famous voice artist that does like cartoons or just anything, like the guy who did Winnie the Pooh is basically a voice actor who's done every character you can think of, from like Donald Duck to everybody. So he was in
Yeah.
it as himself. The guy who does like Fry and shit from Futurama, and he's like one of the M&Ms, was in it. Like all these people were in it. Mark Hamill was in it, but it was about Comic-Con and like the comic book convention from the perspective of those people. So they've already done that, but like a movie like you said where they just party and it ends up being some insane fucking next level.
Yeah, it's the hangover at Comic-Con. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all it would be. You know what I mean?
Dude, they
Like,
never
I feel like they would be
Comic-Con
down for
again,
that.
bro. Kevin Smith had to do
Oh,
Comic-Con
yeah.
this year from his fucking house. I was trying to watch like one video of it. Everything is a Zoom video now. Like we're basically making
man.
a fucking TV show right now if we wanted to.
Hey man, welcome to the media, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
It's like we're part of
this
the
is
conspiracy
Tonight
too, man.
Show.
Now we're part of the media, bro.
Eat ass.
But nah, I mean, did we have any other topics for today? I think we've kind of. This is
we
what's
went
great
into
about
that.
this podcast, because if we started on Trump and Lebanon, and then we've ended up on now Comic-Con orgies and
Comic-Con orgy.
whatnot,
But
so.
if we can circle back to Trump, okay, this is great. This is great. So, circling back to Trump, let's fast forward a few months to the election. If it happens, let's say we have an election. I personally don't think we're going to have an election. I think Trump's going to become dictator for life in
you don't?
America. But that's my 2 cents. That's my conspiracy podcast shit. That's something
No,
we
I think
can
they're
delve
definitely gonna
into
have one.
later. But if Trump
definitely think they're gonna
wins,
have one.
do you think that there will be mass civil unrest?
Well, I think he is gonna win.
I do too. Do you think there
yeah, I was
will be
about
mass
to say,
civil
like,
unrest?
Probably not. I think they're probably just gonna wind up backing everything off, sending everybody back to work, you know what I'm saying? And just being like, you know, it is what it is. Cause like to me, and see, damn, bro, I don't know if we got enough time on this podcast for me to even get into this one, yo. But so
Hot
if you want to
take,
look
just
at
a
the
quick hot
conspiracy,
take. Don't look
so-
into the conspiracy. Trump wins. Is there going to be explosions in the streets? People fighting in the streets? Will people revolt? Do you think there's a possibility?
I think it doesn't. I think if he wins or if he loses, that might happen. You feel me? Because like if he lose, then people that be down for him gonna be upset. You know what I'm saying? So they might be ready.
But I
to
feel
pop
like
off.
if he
You feel me?
loses, there's going to be a general consensus that ultimately, you know, he's still going to have supporters. But I don't think the reaction to him losing is going to be as severe as if he wins and the people that hate Trump react. Because I feel like some of the Black Lives Matter and some of the civil unrest that we're seeing associated with, like, in Portland and with police brutality, the people that are also into that hate Trump, right? So they're willing to get fucked shit up. We've seen it. Now they're definitely willing to do it. It's still going on. So a guy who supports Trump and he loses, I feel like, is going to be like, well, they'd rigged the election. He said it was going to happen. And then he's just going to buy a bunch of Trump steaks and fucking, you know, buy a gun and do whatever. But if Trump wins, the people that are willing to fuck shit up are going to be like, oh, hell no. And that's what I'm worried, especially living in like LA, where I'm
the
worried
reason why I
about
think
living
he's gonna
here
win.
if he wins.
The reason why I think he's going to win is twofold. One, the Republican Party has gerrymandered the hell out of America to the point where there has to be a massive voter turnout in order to even win an election for the Democrats anyways. Like, that's why he won against Hillary, because there wasn't enough turnout. And, you know, it was like Obama won because it was a record turnout. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. But, like, enough people were pissed off at Hillary to be like, they don't want to vote. And then the people that did care about Trump voted and they beat him because it's all lopsided for the Republicans to win. That's not a conspiracy. Like, you can look at the districts, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. But then there's also the issue of the fact that I feel like he's probably going to win because everybody that voted for him can't back off and say, oh, I was wrong. Because no matter what dumb shit he says, they still ride with him. You know what I'm saying? Like me, bro, you only going to be the homie for a minute until you just said some shit where I'm like, yo, we are not hanging out with you no more. I can name a lot. I know I can name somebody we know both. I ain't gonna put him on blast on a podcast like that, but we used to go out with him, and he would go to the bars and want to fight everybody and shit. And I wound up getting caught up in some shit that he did too. And then kind of find out, then he go at another bar and pop off to somebody else and get his jaw broke. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you gonna pop off into, you know,
And that was not
that
the
shit. It's like, I ain't finna ride with you.
incidents in that guy's history for that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not gonna ride for somebody that's gonna go out there and keep looking for the shit to pop off. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel Trump is. It's like at every turn, you like we were just talking about, like you could have just been like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for more information. Like just say the right things, and then you can have your moment of victory later. You know what I'm saying? Like he want to celebrate at every turn. Like soon as something pop off, I was the first to know this, and I was saying that, and it's like, no, you wasn't, and everybody knows that because we can call you on the shit, but you still, your supporters are like, no, he was right. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So like at this point, like I feel like they're just so entrenched they can't let off of them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. I think
my whole thing with Trump is like, and I think he's indicative of like at least American culture, or a lot of people I see, where you have to act as if you know something about every topic. If somebody brings up something, you can't, somebody feels like they have to, he definitely feels like he has to have some kind of an answer that is, right. If it's a problem, he has an answer to it. If it's a subject about like world politics, he knows about it. He's not willing to say, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I haven't looked into that. And I don't know if it's because people will be like, you should know that. Like there's some sort of implication that as a president, you should know everything about everything. That's not
even, because he can always get an expert. Like, you're the
that's
president.
what a cabinet is. That's what all that is.
Yeah, I have the top guy. Exactly.
But he's not willing to do that. And then when he's wrong, and we said before, where somebody's like, you said this. You can't tell me you didn't say it. You said it. And he still does that. He can never, and this is true of me in cases, I'm sure of you and a lot of people, what you can't admit when you're wrong, or when you're caught in a lie, or when you're caught where you're just like, you know what? You got me. I was bullshitting.
Right.
You got me. You know, like that. It's hard to do that. I've been in situations where I didn't do that, but you can't be the president and just be like, see if we can wing this one, boys. Like you have guys to write the shit. Just read the shit.
Exactly.
Read
That's what I'm saying,
shit that is written by experts.
Saying, bro. That's why I don't think that he can lose. Because like we remember how we used to laugh at Bush because he couldn't like say stuff. Like he would try to read the speeches and slip up on the words. Trump is literally taking the speech and saying, I don't want to read this shit because I can't.
He's that guy
throwing
that
it
comes
away
to the Oscars and is like, pulls out like 5 pieces of paper, looks at it, he's like, you know, I had a speech prepared, but I'm just gonna wing it. And he just starts, it's like, no! Like his speechwriters are like, what? No.
Then what's even crazier about it is it'll be on like some shit that's really like some scientific shit. Like, what you know about geothermal ecological pollution, and he'll be sitting there like, well, you see,
terrible.
The geothermal is
Chinese need to take care of it.
It's good. It's great. And we're doing a good job because we America. So if you took that with what we had before, it's like, bro, what are you talking about, fam? Like, just make a point. Stop saying crazy shit.
But the problem also now is, like, the journalists are so spineless that nobody is willing to really stand up to him. I mean, the guy in that video I talked about, that Axios thing, he does. Yeah. I mean, he's, like, trying to go back and forth with them. But, I mean, with Trump, I mean, it literally is like, you're just punching.
Bro, that dude said China disease.
Yeah.
That dude said China disease so many times. I was just like, he's really getting away with this. Like,
I mean,
how is this? Care. You're allowed to be overtly racist, dog? That's racist as fuck. I mean, okay, it came from China, but you can't sit there. Like, now it's literally like, to me, that's putting the message out there to be like, every Chinese person is now the cause of Corona, is basically what you're kind of framing that up to be.
And
you know
also,
what I mean?
You need to really, like, and he's saying that, but if you want to, let's hit the conspiracy thing again.
This you this time.
I mean, this is me, but, like, you don't think America was helping develop that shit? I mean, in some way, they ain't that, like,
Well,
they're not
I mean,
hiding all
there
this.
is evidence of that. Yeah,
You know,
there is
so
evidence that the World Health Organization was part of that facility that they were
that's
supposedly
true
came from
too.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like the CDC is in Atlanta though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it has all the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how they test it and work on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have labs where all that shit is. They just have different fail safes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they moved that cheaper labor over to China. You know what I mean? And they have different ways of doing things. It's just like, you ever been out the country? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go to like Jamaica, dog, they'd be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna give you a ride down to the beach at 3:00. You know what I'm saying? 6:55. You like, where the bus at? You know what I'm saying? Because 3:00 to them is when they feel like it's 3:00. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just time different for them. They don't move like how we move. They don't gotta look at the clock. It's like, oh, my bones feel like it's 3, and that's when they decide to leave to go get you. You know what I'm saying? Not that they go pick you up. That's when they go leave their house to come get you. You see what I'm saying? Like that.
No,
type
I
of shit.
meant the
Like,
3:00, the bar, man. It's over. I've been waiting over
Right.
here, man.
Right. It's like, man, I've been like 2 hours waiting on you. Dog. It's hot, man. It's like, oh, I'm coming. I'm 5 minutes away. It's like 5 minutes is 35 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Guys,
Like,
let's just
this is
go
how it
to the
is.
beach. Let's walk to
Yeah,
the
man. People
jungle,
just
yo.
right. People just do different shit, man. Like, and that's how China is, man. Like, that's what they were saying in that documentary I was watching, is that a lot of their stuff is all handshake, where it's just like, we don't need no contract. Like, I fuck with you, you fuck with me, but because we do favors for each other, at a certain point, I might ask you to do a favor that is gonna put you at risk too. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna do it because that's just how we ride. You know what I mean? So it's just cultural shit that goes on out there, bro. Where shit ain't the same. And if you doing highly technological, dangerous shit, I mean, one of the things too, a lot of like coal mines and stuff from China, dude. Like, a lot of things where we argue about pollution and global warming comes from other countries doing things not to the standard of what we do. But what's fucked up is America knows that, and then our companies use their production to get cheaper shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is all the global machine turning once again. And
It's just a
Trump
wild
want to
west
sit there
now,
and point
man.
fingers, but yeah, it is what it is, right?
I mean,
Well,
all those
you can make
TVs,
$1,
like
they're gonna let you.
like one thing I always thought was like crazy about China is a company, let's say Sony comes out with a badass TV, whatever, and sells it here. Some Chinese company makes that TV, right? Well, they'll just
Right.
steal the specs, create
Yep.
Vizio, the company, and recreate that TV and just sell it for a little bit cheaper because they
Yep.
can. But there's here that's like copyright infringement and this and that. There's no such thing as that there. They're like, what?
Right.
This is what it is.
It's like,
Like it's just who can get it out the fastest, basically.
exactly, man. It ain't no
It's
patents and shit. You know
capitalism,
what I'm saying?
bro. That's what capitalism
I was
is.
about to say.
Pure
I mean, it's a
capitalism.
pure free market. It's a pure free market where it's like, oh, you did that, I can do the same thing for cheaper. Why do
Yeah,
you
I
think
got the
Pepsi and Coke
factory.
be fighting? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right.
Thanks
You feel me? Yeah.
thanks for giving me the blueprint. Let me just I'll get these little
Right.
cheaper little shits here. These might short out every once in a while, but
I mean, honestly though, that can happen to you in America too, because certain things you can't patent. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, Walmart takes whatever, you make, if you make like hairspray and then they make the Walmart version hairspray. You know what I'm saying? Like Walmart doing the same thing China
well,
does.
actually,
You feel
what's
me?
weird
Like,
about that is usually like if you buy like let's say macaroni and cheese, like the Ralph's brand macaroni and cheese, that's actually made by
right.
this Kraft. It's made by the same company.
Right.
They just like
Right.
put it in a different
Repackage
box.
it and then sell it. Yeah, sell it for them. Like, that's all Trader Joe's is, bro. Trader Joe's just is a labeling company. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is still, the nuts come all from the same nut place. It's only but 5 nut manufacturers or whatever. They just put their trail mix name on it and call it, Trader Joe's nut mix, and then people buy that shit. So, it's all a hustle, man. But to me, I feel like what's really going on is that the old ways of old, bro, have to die at a certain point, man. In order for us to succeed as a people, like as a planet, you know what I'm saying? Because like, it's shit going on. It's gonna hit a level where it's not gonna matter if you a Mexican or an American or whatever. It's like you're gonna need help. You know what I'm saying? Because like people don't talk about this shit. Like, there's water shortages. There's too much trash in the world, dog. That's polluting the oceans. Fish and shit are dying. There's not enough food. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole bunch of shit that are real problems, and the reason why they're problems is because we've mass produced everything. The reason why there's shortages of shit is because the way the production line is set up is to be so efficient, so that if there's any interruption, now they gotta just kill a bunch of chickens. You remember they were doing those reports, it was like, oh, we gotta kill a bunch of cows and shit because like of corona and shit. It's because they can't age but to a certain point before the meat's not good. You know what I'm saying? So they just gotta kill them and just literally have a mass grave of now fucking cows and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like what's
The
being shown
horror.
is that. I mean, that would be terrible to like be some ancient archaeologist, in the future and like
Yeah,
see
like,
just a
what
mass
the
like
fuck?
like what was happening here, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like it's funny because think about the future, right? Two movies are two things that we talk about media kind of predicting the future and stuff. There's Star Wars and then there's Star Trek. So there's two versions of the future. In Star Wars, it's if capitalism was to continue as it was. Because if you remember, like you needed credits and shit, you needed money, and like if some people were poor, some people were rich, they lived different lifestyles. Aliens, everybody was all kind of at the same, but like you literally would have like a shit job. Like I always thought it was funny in Star Wars that like they have all that technology and it would just be like some dude just like hanging on the bottom of a ship like in the middle of space, just like drilling something, and it's like you don't have like some robot to do this. Like, come on, man! Like this guy's risking his life. You know
The
what I'm
Empire
saying? Like,
doesn't let you get that new good shit, bro.
yeah. But check this though. So then look at Star Trek though. Star Trek, they had to like got past capitalism. You didn't need money in Star Trek because they had the technology to the point where anything you needed was at the press of a button. And what they did in Star Trek, instead of going out and fighting battles against the Federation and shit, they would go into the galaxy and find new cultures and assimilate them into their new way of saying, hey, you don't need money anymore because we have perfected life so that everything you need can now be made. Because remember, they just had the machine where they pushed a button and they had food, you know what I'm saying? And like they pushed a button, they can get themselves a drink, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how they went through space, you know what I'm saying? So like two versions of the future.
Pussy, though, dude. You couldn't get.
I mean, you get some alien. Man, you just. I'm gonna tell your mama on you, dog. You need help, man.
Why, dude?
You need help, man. But nah,
dude, there was no
but
sex on the Starship Enterprise, dude. What was going
yes,
on?
it was, man. Yes, it was, man. You just tripping. You didn't watch enough episodes, bro.
I mean,
you don't
all
remember
Kirk
when the
was
Borg
doing
came?
was fucking aliens. He kissed that
In
black
the
lady.
That's what I
Patrick
was saying,
Stewart
man.
wasn't
The movie
fucking though.
Bro, Patrick Stewart got some alien. He got the Borg. You don't remember she smashed him
Ew,
in the
dude,
movie?
he
You
was
tripping,
fucking
dog?
Borg, dude.
You tripping, bro? You just don't
That's
remember.
some
man.
weird BDSM shit, though. That ain't...
Hey, man, Picard was a freak, bro.
Oh, God. Whoopi was fucking that android guy, Data.
Oh, man.
Remember LeVar Burton's crazy, like, visor glasses?
No, have you seen that Seth MacFarlane one where it's the future show? What was that show called? Where he's like the captain on the space joint?
Shit. I just
Me neither,
it.
bro. No, they got to an episode where the doctor lady was dating a robot, son. Like I was like, yo, I can't with this no more, man. I was like, they got this chick out here dating a robot, and like literally, like this, like the dude is like, I think I love you. I'm like, yo,
God,
turn this off,
dude.
yeah, I was like, turn this off, bro. Turn this off, man. Y'all just went too far. I'm pretty sure that's why that show got canceled.
I mean, I just OD'd on Seth MacFarlane. I mean, I respect Family Guy. I love it. He's a great, talented dude, but it seemed like every fall Fox would be like, we've added another Seth MacFarlane show. It's like, damn.
Do you like the Cleveland show? And do you like the Griffin? Guess what? We got Quagmire
animated. Well, hey, fuck you.
Here's him in
you
real
want to see
life.
his real face? No, I don't want that.
He's not a leading man either. I mean,
he's just like
all due respect,
guy.
but
it's just like basically
yeah.
he's the character creator, like the first thing that pops up for a white character. That's all it is. He's just like, he looks like.
Well, you know what to me messes him up is old boy that's Ant-Man. Like I feel like him and Ant-Man, yeah, him and Paul Rudd should just be in the same roles all the time. Except Paul Rudd looks better than him. I feel like everybody thinks he's
like
more handsome.
Fucking years old, dude. It's crazy. He's like the only white guy who ages. He's like. Everyone else his age looks like they're fucking like 65 years old and shit. That guy looks like he's
hey man.
clueless.
Some people get that blessing where they just never look old, dude. Like Angela Bassett, man. Bassett don't look old at all, man.
Angela Bassett is a treasure to this world, dude.
That was the first woman I remember as a young child being like, damn, that's what
you wanted to help her get her groove back? I
was probably like 4 years old, dog, and was like, damn. Like, I just remember that. Like, I just remember being a real young kid being like, ooh. And ever since then, I like the women's.
I just think it's funny that she'll just come out like every year. I mean, she's aging.
Looking better and
She'll
better.
just like come out every year. There'll be like one day where she'll be on Instagram and be like, just so y'all know, and just post like some
Right.
bathing suit photo, and everyone's like, she's 80 years old. She's gonna be like 150
Right.
with these titties.
Right. It's like just so y'all know I'm 93.
Yeah.
Still out here
Come get
flexing.
this.
You know what I'm saying?
Miss your grandpa over here.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
she
they're still
will,
grandpa.
dude.
She's still your husband. What you talking about? I ain't gonna steal your granddaddy shoes.
She's gonna take everybody's. You're gonna take the whole line and just fucking. She's basically.
I'm just saying,
perfect,
hey,
dude.
shout out to the
She
shout out
might
to the
actually
queen.
be. This might be a conspiracy. Is she a robot, or is that just black
Oh.
don't crack?
That's a good question. I mean, everybody said Dave Chappelle came back as a clone when he
God.
left and came back from Hollywood. Oh man, I just love that there's no conspiracy that hasn't reached entertainment, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like they literally think that, like you said, that somebody probably does believe that that's a robot. You know what I'm saying? Like to that point, it's like, you know, they make animatronic people, man, that look just like everybody else, so you could be talking to one you wouldn't even know.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
okay.
You probably a robot right now saying shit like that. That's what they make
Think
them
about
do.
it, man.
They
I'm telling you,
implant
bro, there's definitely
conspiracy robots in the culture so that it makes everyone seem crazy. Are you a robot, dude? Hold on. Take a look
the only way you
at
can tell somebody a robot, man, you gotta stick your finger in their ear. You can feel a little plug back there. That's where they charge them up. But yeah, I think that's what an hour and 45 minutes of the prestigious, crazy ramblings of two lost individuals.
To call it ramblings, I feel like that cheapens it a little bit, but
I mean, there's no script, guys. I just want y'all to know there's no pre-planning
wouldn't
here
that
other
be
than
crazy if this was scripted somehow? Like we just here it is, guys. Every fucking word written out in idiotic, even the pause.
I got mine right here.
Even the light.
I got mine right here too.
Even all the lights that I shit out of my mouth because I can't figure out what to say on the spot sometimes. We've scripted
Every
it all.
sneeze, cough, it's all there. Like it's literally
This is actually
this
just
is
a
like the Truman
CIA
Show.
thing. This is a CIA show. This is funded by the CIA. We were just out here planting, basically.
I'm actually Middle Eastern.
I don't exist. I'm just an image that's popping up in Zoom. I'm a virtual person, so.
Hey, what is scary that you say that? You seen that new thing they can do now where they can put your face on a famous person? So like, you remember the dude?
Finally.
No, you remember? I mean, this has existed for a long time because we've all seen the porns with the fake people.
I can put myself in wild things, though. Finally, I can put myself in wild things.
But no, what's his name? Jesse? You remember Jesse that was like the big dude in Gang Aint that we knew? Remember him, bro? HR?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
So, like, I saw him on Facebook. He put himself on the rock in this thing, dude. It looks hilarious. It looks like if you put, like, the face of a Keebler elf on the rock. It's hilarious. Like, it's so funny, man. But, like, it literally is his face, though. Like, you know, saying all the lines, everything. It looks like he really said it. You know what I'm saying? Except it's just like, obviously it's not his body. So it's like, it looks weird. But, I mean, it exists now, man. So they could literally just get a couple of clips of your face and make you say anything, dude. But the problem is that you're already willing to say anything, so they have nothing to hold against you. So this is our conspiracy, is that to keep the CIA from getting to us, we just openly say everything, so that way we can't be held accountable for anything.
Yeah, I'm not. It's like
that's the master plan.
False rumors so that the one rumor that you did say is completely negated by all the bullshit. I mean, this is Trump 101, guys. This is Trump.
Yeah, bro.
We've read the books. We know how to do.
We learn from our leader. We learn from the leader. You know what I'm saying? Our next move is going to be fraud. Exactly. Exactly.
But that's
Oh,
that's
man.
how you end the podcast, Aaron, by insulting us so badly that we just eventually stop and say we're dumb. And that's that's right. We're gonna end week 17 by that, acknowledging that. It's been great. I don't know really. I didn't cover one thing on my script that was provided to
What
me
was
by the
that?
CIA about the NFL, but we'll get to that next week because
Oh,
really
yeah.
I'm
There's
just
plenty of time
concerned.
before the season starts.
I might be starting for the Steelers by the time all these people opt out. So we'll get to that. I'll let you know if they make
That
any
movie Invincible?
replacements, bro, with Keanu Reeves.
Nah, the one with your boy Marky Mark, and he's the
Dude, I got
football
an
player
even
for
deeper
Philly.
cut for next week. Yeah, Invincible, but that's a real story. But you never saw the Tony Danza classic, the garbage
Yes, I did.
field goal kicking?
Yes, I did. I love that was a plot for so many movies that, oh man, I broke my arm, my leg, and it made me a superhero. Like, look at this. I was like, man, I'm going to jump out this tree
Yeah, I
and
was
snap
about
my
to
neck
say,
real
I'm gonna
quick.
snap my fucking arm, become a Nolan Ryan. And shit.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go snap my arm real quick and see if I can get into the UFC. So we'll end this one. Aaron, thank you for your pointed. Obviously, really, I thank you for the advice on the romantic aspects of my relationship.
Hey, man. Like I said, bro, we'll see next week. We'll get some updates, see how things progress. But I'm just trying to tell you, man, you might find something out about yourself and your wife you didn't know. So, hey.
I gotta go shave, so
All
not
right,
this, not the beard, the other shit. So I'll talk to you guys.
Oh, God. He's getting super ready. Said, they don't need no friction.
Scorched earth.
Oh, God.
All right, dude.
All
I'll
right,
talk to you
people. That's
later,
another
man.
week. Peace, man.
Yeah.